And Kristen, what are your thoughts about Trendsetters specifically on the internet?
Well, I mean, I agree with the comments that both of my compatriots here have made. In addition, what we find is that for broader-based acceptance, celebrities still get the broader-based mass market, what we call early majority to late majority followers. So I would just add that I think that is still critical depending on what market you're targeting.
And I still get press releases about like what Kristen Stewart is wearing. Like,
yeah.
and I'm curious now that you bring up celebrities, and you know, people say, and I guess the fashion industry is sort of saying, even though the fashion industry is sort of like a niche, very small community in retrospect, that bloggers are the new celebrities. Do you as a brand ever see them becoming equal, or bloggers overtaking, or where do you see this going?
Well, it's interesting. I think we look at a pyramid of influence. So the top of the pyramid is the tastemaker consumer, and then you have the early adopter consumer, and then the early majority. I think the bloggers really are that tip of the pyramid. I mean, so they are influencing early adopters. So even trendsetters are following some of the trendsetter bloggers. And so I think I don't know if they can ever be as broad-based as a celebrity unless they get that celebrity type following. It's possible. I think that a celebrity, just by the nature of how many impressions they can drive, and a celebrity wearing something is such a huge validation of a brand or a product, they tend to have such a quick hit. Is it possible, given the way the world is going? Absolutely.
And as far as validation, do you value a top blogger wearing Keds as much as a celebrity? And I think it's sort of the mass appeal of celebrities. Everybody watches movies, everybody watches TV, listens to music, but not everybody reads blogs. So there's sort of that balance between.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that as a brand, if you're not constantly refreshing what you're doing and engaging that top of the pyramid, your cycle is pretty short. So I think that you have to be hitting at multiple levels.
Right, yeah. Very true. And with that said, I'll stay with you, Kristen. Our last question is, how do trends affect your decisions?
How do trends affect? I touched on it a little bit in the opening. It's very important for us to watch the trends, to identify the trends, and then to figure out really what does that mean for the Keds brand and the Keds lens. It's just as important that we're using what we stand for to take that trend and redefine it, twist it, etc. So we're constantly developing really three seasons of product at one time. So we're looking as far out as 12 months and as close as 6 months. So we're looking at projecting 12 months the trends and how we can use them to drive the brand message. In addition to what's happening today, what can we capitalize on to generate some new excitement?
So sort of keeping the integrity and the message of the brand while still being appealing to the trends.
Exactly. Yep. You said it better than I.
And Kate, I'm curious to know how trends affect your decisions.
Let's see. Well, I'm not currently a fashion editor. So I guess I'll just answer this question from a personal perspective. I am definitely influenced much more by what's online than what's in fashion magazines, and I'm constantly reading personal style blogs and Refinery 29 and Racked and just anything really to sort of get a sense of what the trends are. And I will read fashion magazines too, usually every September. And I usually make little drawings, little lists of things. I've been doing this for years, it's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, and there's a lot of things that I want that I can't buy for years and years and years and years. And probably that's partly because I don't have a lot of time to look around for things. I was much more fashionable before I started working at Women's Wear Daily. Now I'm too busy to be fashionable. Let's see. But I guess I mostly try to think of something, I try to identify what the trends are now, meaning probably like what are the magazines showing and what are people showing, what are designers showing in the tents in Bryant Park, and then I want to do something different because for me that's already kind of late. Although it's actually before something gets mass market. And I have to agree, celebrities are really, really, really important in setting the trends for the mass market. And they're certainly a lot more important than bloggers right now, as terrible as that sounds. And it's just what I was saying before about exposure. The more a trend is exposed, the more popular it becomes. And celebrities have huge exposure. If a celebrity's wearing something, it's going to be seen by so many people. So it's almost like they're like little mirrors, or I don't know, satellite stations picking up a little beam from the trendsetters and then beaming it back to the wider world.
And Catherine, how do trends affect your decisions?
I'm pretty much a typical consumer, but through my blog, I comment on what's going on and what trends I like and stuff along those lines. And through blogging, interestingly enough, I've actually shopped less and I've kind of focused more on developing my personal style because I think that style and fashion are not necessarily the same thing. Many people have really interesting personal style, but they don't follow any trends. So I can't say that I don't follow trends. I shop at major stores. I basically buy what I think looks cool. Can't really describe it any other way, but I'm able to approach it lightheartedly. I don't have to take it too seriously, and though there are people watching me, which sounds a little creepy, I don't really feel pressure to follow trends, which I think, in a way, blogging has kind of affected the way that people view fashion.
So from a blogger's perspective, for you, it's more about refining your style, inspired by these trends.
Yeah.